Waylay is Valorant's newest addition to the Duelist roster, coming in at light speed to run her opponents down. Hailing from Thailand, Waylay is intended to be a movement duelist that utilizes quick reflexes to evade fire and keep herself alive. In the next 10 minutes, we are going to be breaking down exactly how you can abuse Waylay for free RR and start climbing the ranks today. Now, if you're really looking to climb, this video is going to be a great reference for what you need to start doing, but it's not going to teach you the fundamentals. The reality is that if you're new to the game or even decently experienced, the fundamentals are by far the most important thing that you can learn to skyrocket your rank. This includes things like crosshair placement, peeking, proper spacing with teammates, and even how utility can make aiming easier for you. Now, Valorant is an FPS game, and if you suck at the S part of that, then you're probably not going to be climbing very well. That's why we've gone ahead and put together an hour-long Aim God Masterclass so that you can brush up on your fundamentals and get climbing in no time. We will teach you everything that you need to know about developing master-level mechanics in Valorant, guaranteed or your money back. That's right, we are so confident that we can help you rank up 500 RR that we will literally refund you if you don't. This course is something that I spent a long time creating to build up literally the best guide available to help players like you improve. So if you really want to check it out, be sure to use that link below for a discount. And other than that, let's get into the video. Starting out by breaking down Waylay's abilities, her signature is called Refract. Similar to something like a chamber TP, Waylay can activate Refract and within the next few seconds reactivate it to teleport back to safety instantly. This recall is most effective when entering to avoid getting traded, and ideally you want to run in to get a pick and then recall before your opponents can retaliate. Some interesting things to note with Refract are that you can use this ability while jumping, so it can be an actually pretty decent info gathering tool at the right times. Say for example, you're in a smoke and you want to gather information on the other side without just risking your life by swinging out. You can quickly jump through the smoke and immediately press Refract to recall yourself back to safety, gathering information for your team, and potentially pulling a crosshair or two, while possibly winning your team a duel. Other things to note as well is that you don't actually have to recall. You can always just let the ability time out and keep going, which is nice in case you find yourself in a strong position. This is not the same thing as like a Phoenix ult, for example, where after completing his ult, he will be forced to concede any map control that he gained immediately. As you could guess, with this being your signature ability, it is handedly the strongest part of Waylay's toolkit, and you should be using it to push your advantages when possible. Here's a simple clip where you'll see that Primi activates Refract before walking down mid on defense. He finds a favorable duel this round due to the enemy being on eco and him taking a pretty far range duel with his rifle. Then, immediately after landing his skill, he just pieces out to safety. Perfect example of how to use this ability at its core. It's also worth noting that Refract allows ability usage during its duration as well, which combos especially well with the next ability, Lightspeed. When using Lightspeed, Waylay gets the option to either dash twice back to back or just dash once to cover a quick distance. The first dash is also able to be used upwards, which can be nice to gain some pretty hefty elevation as well. This is pretty similar to a jet dash, except it can't be primed the same way. It requires Waylay to pull out her dash first and then look in whichever direction that she wants to go. This means that it's not as excellent as a disengage tool as jets might be, but what it lacks on the defense, it gains a little bit of extra mobility when pushing forward. You can cover more distance and you can evade pretty effectively by changing your direction for the second dash. A cool technique worth noting though is that wherever you're looking for the second dash, you'll quickly move to. So you can do things like dash forward out of a choke point for info and then immediately dash backwards towards safety if your mouse control is good enough. Or you can dash out of a choke and then immediately beeline it into a different direction. Say for example, A site on ascent. You can dash out on a main and then immediately dash towards tree and start wrapping towards garden. Due to the speed of this ability, that first dash is excellent for info gathering, allowing you to use that second dash to then move towards cover and then plan your next move. Now, something worth mentioning with Waylay's toolkit is that she doesn't have a lot of great tools to protect herself when entering. Being able to double dash and recall is cool and all, but when making plays, you're really going to want to combo these things with initiator utility. Things like flashes, stuns, recons, flushing utility, even smokes. Really anything that you can use to provide yourself with some sort of protection as you're just exiting that choke point onto site. To take a look at what this sort of ability would look like in action, take a peek at this clip from Kami.
Flashing out. 3, 2, 1, buff.
Oh yeah.
It's nothing crazy, but take note of how Kami abuses the verticality on light speed to basically put his opponents in an unwinnable situation where they have to land an impossible shot. You're basically breaking your ankles with this ability by dashing straight past them twice. Here's another simple clip from the show match where they introduce Waylay. You'll see how Tens uses his double dash to entry for his team by zooming over towards Generator and landing behind this enemy player. At the same time, you'll see that John QT combos his undercut towards Generator, allowing Tens to quickly land, grab the kill, and then immediately recall to avoid a trade. It is a really simple way to entry, but it's also super effective. Now, the one tool that Waylay does have to assist her entry is her last standard ability, Saturate. This is a simple grenade that when it explodes will apply an effect called Hinder to your opponents that slows them. Not like a Sage slow though, like their fire rate is slowed, their movement speed is slowed, their weapon speed is slowed, even the rate that they fall is slowed. It's a weird new effect being added to Waylay, but it kind of works okay. For all intents and purposes, it is basically a concuss, but there are some slight differences. Now, this ability does have a max range that it can be thrown, and similar to a Phoenix Molly, it'll eventually fall to the ground after traveling too far. It's mostly just helpful to quickly stun an area that you're pushing before pushing in though. Or you can use it to stall a push on defense. It's quite simple. There are a number of abilities like this in the game, so we won't dwell on it too much, but just know that it is great to set yourself up for a safer gunfight. To give you an example, here's a clip of Primi utilizing Saturate to stun a choke point as he attempts to push into market. He wasn't intentionally throwing this at the Cypher when he saw him, it was just something that he was preemptively doing because he suspected that somebody might be there. Now, the Saturate easily saved his life here, and it really showcases at its core how you want to use this ability. Finally, the same hinder effect is applied on her ultimate as well. For Waylay's ultimate, she fires off a massive area of effect hindrance after a short delay, as well as speed boosting herself for a short duration afterwards. This ult is a great execute ultimate, and especially can combo well with some other execute utilities such as Fade's ult, Teo's ult, Sova's ult, or even just things like Teo's missiles, mollies, flashes, whatever you got, just run them over. There's not too many complexities to this ultimate. You can kind of just rip it on sight before an execute, but once it's down, enemies will move very slowly for quite a few seconds, giving you a massive opportunity to push in. Again, let's take a look at how Kami combines Waylay's whole kit here to make a super flashy play.
Watch it over side. Watch it over side again. 3, 2, 1, pop, pop.
One enemy remaining.
Later.
Spike down A. Gonna fall one enemy remaining.
He first begins by popping his ultimate, Convergent Paths, towards sight, looking to stun his opponents as they push in. Immediately following this, you'll see that he activates his Refract to give himself the freedom to at any time immediately recall to safety. Finally, you'll see that he uses his light speed to go over the top of 410 and lands safely in maze, giving him the jump on his opponents. Now, of course, combining this with some nice shots, Kami lands his 3-piece. But it's also great to see that after landing his first kill, you can see that his second opponent is full stunned by his ultimate, and his third target is isolated. Now, immediately after landing that third kill, you'll even see that he recalls to protect himself from a trade, easily securing this round. Honestly, an expert play from Kami with minimal experience on the agent, really excellent to see. Here's another great round from Primi 2 that highlights a lot of the strengths of Waylay's kit. Notice how he utilizes this double dash to start by sending himself over the top of a sent B site. At the same time, you'll see that he has Refract active though, so at the same time that the enemy Yoru catches him out of position, Primi immediately resets to B main, no harm, no foul. Finally, from this position later in the round, Primi pops his ultimate to disrupt the enemy's retake and lands a few clean kills on his opponents as they are slowed in front of him. Just a great clip that really highlights Waylay's strengths. Now anyway, hopefully you learned something from this video or at least enjoyed the watch, and if you're really looking to rank up this act, then let me tell you how we can help you out today and get you back on track and climbing right away. As mentioned with our Aim God Masterclass, it is designed to teach you everything that you need to know about how to get expert level mechanics in just a few short weeks. It goes over all of the aiming fundamentals that you need to master to frag out in your matches and carry games. Now, we know aiming can feel so hard sometimes, but we will help make it stupid simple and get you ranking up in no time or your money back. Don't forget that site subscribers also get direct access to our coaches in the Discord, so you can get personalized feedback just for you. Nobody understands how to climb out of low elo more than us, so if you're really looking to rank up, be sure to check out SkillCapped using the link below. And other than that, my name is Casey, and I will catch you in the next one.